a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, December 22nd. We got a great game tonight. NFL Monday Night Football, Old Man Rivers, and the Indianapolis Colts hosting the San Francisco 49ers, America's new hottest team to take here in the futures market. 49ers on the road tonight, and the Colts Monday Night Football. Join us tonight here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks, and we'll have live companion stream coverage. Hope you enjoyed the coverage last night of Sunday Night Football. We had another wild one. Prime time delivers again with the Patriots and the Ravens in another thriller yesterday. What a day of NFL action. The early window, good games in the afternoon. Some of them were not great as far as the impact in the playoffs are concerned, but still had some great finishes yesterday. How'd you do with your picks yesterday? We did have some winners here on the morning steam yesterday as well with the card, the early card. Did we have here yesterday the over with the Bills and the Browns here on the show? Buffalo jumped out early with 20 points on its first 3 drives, but managed just 3 points the rest of the way. And Cook, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cleveland turned it over 3 times on its first 6 drives, but was 8 of 13 on third down. The Browns have lost 4 straight and are 0-12 when allowing, believe, 14 points or more. Nonetheless, the Browns here get the cover there yesterday against the Buffalo Bills in an over. Also had a winner here on the show with the Jets and the Saints game to go under despite Tyler Shuck throwing for 308 yards and a touchdown. New Orleans extended its run here to 4-2 in the last 6 games. They finished strong. It looks like this season Saints dominated time and yardage, outgained them by over 200 yards in the game, scored on 8 of their 11 drives. Just a consistent effort there from the Saints. Jets offense sputtered again after the first 3 drives, just 78 yards with 47 plays and 2 turnovers. And the Jets lost to the Saints, but we did have the under as our play here on the morning steam show here yesterday. And had some other good results as well. We had a winner with the game there with, see if I can get my notes out here and get it right. Kansas City and Tennessee game to go under. We had it. Houston continued their strong run with a win over the Raiders yesterday, 23-21. Houston won its 7th straight, stayed a game behind Jacksonville. The Texans scored with a pick 6 just 4 minutes into the game. Raiders outgained Houston 315-270 as the Raiders hung in there against the Houston Texans for a courageous effort there by Las Vegas. And other winners here included we had the over in the Bengals Dolphins game. The Dolphins allowed Cincinnati's offense to erupt in the second half big time. It was at 1 point 14-10 Dolphins. Bengals end up crushing 45-21. Miami turned it over 3 times in their first 4 drives of the third quarter, and Ewers struggled with 2 INTs in his first start. For Miami, for Burrow, 309 yards and 4 touchdowns there yesterday. Also, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars on the show yesterday with the win over the Broncos 34-20 as they continue to climb up the AFC standings, winning their 6th straight, allowing just 15.3 points per game. Trevor Lawrence, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Jaguars 8 of 15 on third down, holding the Broncos to 5 of 14 as the Broncos' 11-game win streak came to an end. Knicks had 352 yards. No one's complaining there, but Denver still leads the AFC West by a game. They face the Chargers in Week 18 here, so that'll be an interesting setup as well. Chargers yesterday, get it done. My Chargers get it done in the game over the Dallas Cowboys. They really put a hurting on them yesterday in the win over Dallas 34-17. The Chargers dominated the second half, outgained Dallas 450-340 and converted 7-11 third downs. Herbert, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dallas scored 17 in the first half, but the Chargers shut them out in the second half. And Dallas is finishing with a little bit of a thud there with that defense. They've given up here over 100 points, 112, I think, to be exact, in the last 3 weeks. So Tampa Bay, Carolina, big game in the NFC South, but it is Carolina that comes through with a 23-20 victory as Carolina snapped a tough run really against Tampa Bay, not just their second win in 12 tries against the Bucs. And Bryce Young, 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Panthers capped it off with a clutch 48-yard field goal with 2:20 left to take the lead in the NFC South by a game with just 2 weeks to go. Tampa has now lost 7 of 9 after a 5-1 start. Carolina closing fast. Still probably have to win the last one unless Tampa Bay wins 2 in a row. Still big chance for Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay struggled there a little bit against Carolina, and a great job there by Carolina. All right, and late night, Patriots over the Ravens, 28-24. New England continuing their red-hot streak. They've won 12 of 13, locking up that playoff spot, trailing 24-13 in the fourth quarter. The Patriots had that great comeback with 22 plays, 181 yards, 14 points in the fourth quarter. Drake May, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson exited with a back injury in the second quarter. Derrick Henry still looked great, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns on 18 carries. Couldn't handicap that situation right last night. We had the side and the total there. Of course, we had the Patriots here on the Morning Steam show as New England outgained Baltimore 450-330, leaving the Ravens needing 2 wins and a lot of help to try to make the playoffs in the AFC North. So there were some other games without any impact as well in the final standings with I mentioned that Kansas City, Tennessee game, Falcons and Cardinals as well yesterday with the 26-19 winner for the Falcons, as Bijan did have the monster game with 168 yards of total offense and became the first Falcon this century with over 2,000 yards of scrimmage yards for a season. Atlanta's won 3 of 5 here now of late, as Arizona lost for the 7th straight time and 12 of the last 13. And Pittsburgh also should mention them. We had the Steelers on the morning steam yesterday. Talked about it, right? Said look for a high scoring game here. Look for the Steelers to have a decent offensive day against the Lions, and they did. They rolled with their third straight win and scoring average 28 points in those 3 games. So Detroit had that late touchdown nullified by that offensive pass interference call with two OPIs in one drive. That is unprecedented. Warren, 14 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Pittsburgh looked good offensively here. So saw Metcalf punch that fan in the face. Well, he didn't quite do that. Dragged him by his headgear there or something. So, all right. Great job with the chat. Let's say hello to the folks. Get rolling in here. We got a fun day planned. I'm taking off on Wednesday for the one game. We're not going to do a show. So I want to get a couple of days in here. Bobby Mack going. Twisted talking Packers football. Steelers also. And Patriots as well. Good morning to Twisted. And here we go. Robert wants to take a bunch of 1-0 games in the African Cup of Nations. R. Tomps, good morning. D Money is here. And Terrell says, look, last year the Ravens were the 1-3 seeds. They're nowhere to be found. The Lions and the Bucks there. Yeah, it looks like, some teams will get in, some won't. The NFL, we think about the ups and downs, right? Remember, as the season ends, the worst teams play an easier schedule. The good teams, the bad teams play an easier schedule the next year. The bad teams play a softer schedule. Did I get it right? And so that does kind of help things. Man, everybody's bullish today on everything going on here as we get rolling here at the bottom of the hour, and man, things are skyrocketing here. So let's have a great day. All right, Dallas is terrible every season, says Greg. Tampa's overrated and overvalued. Refs made that right call, says Terrell. And who else here? Our top Spurs couldn't get the money there. A little bit of basketball, NBA action last night. The Spurs couldn't find it. How did we do in basketball yesterday on the show? We had the Bulls in that wild one. We had the Nets to cover. We had the over in the Heat and the Knicks. We had the Bucks and the under and the Bucks and the Timberwolves. We went 5-1 yesterday. Maybe that's what R. Thompson means. We went 5-1 with plays here on the show, and that was our loser here on the morning steam. Great job. Thank you, chat, for helping me out there. Wow, 5-1 on the show yesterday. BJ Anderson is here as well. And let's see here. Trevor, fired up about the Jags. Greg says Chargers could do something here. Oh, man, wouldn't it be amazing? But I'm trying to stay fired up. This is a great record and a great run. I want to be excited, and I can't wait to see some playoff football for the Chargers. I'll try to be optimistic about it. I don't think they look like 11-4, but hey, they are what they are. All right, and let's see here. Terrell mentioned it too. That late game there with the Rockets and the Kings. Yeah, we had the Kings here on the morning steam show. Make no mistake, yesterday there. Come on now. Some other, not everybody was on the Kings there yesterday, but we were here. Okay, man. Wow, I'm excited. Probably just get started on the show. But hey, I want to let everybody know it's a great day of college basketball. The action gets underway here in just about 90 minutes. We're going to preview that first game, but also you can get more picks from me right now. I've got a 7-pack of college basketball games, including some early action. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. We had a pretty good run here of late. Man, I got scorched though on I told Mike I was going to play the overnight action in the NBL, but man, I flopped there with my NBL play last night. Didn't see that one coming, but hey, I got some other great plays. Check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. We got a great card today. And like I said, I got 7 games right now up at Winnable. You can check me out over there, and you'll see the plays here real quick. I'll flash them on the screen. You can take a snapshot if you want. All right. There, you don't even have to subscribe. There's my plays for today. But also it lists you the winners that we had there. I had the under. It was 4-2, but I said go under 6.5 there with the Minnesota Wild and Colorado Avalanche yesterday. I thought Minnesota would knock them off possibly, but that wasn't the case. It was another Colorado win, but under there was my VIP selection. NFL, we did have a couple winners here in the NFL. We had the Titans plus the points against the Chiefs. We had the Chargers, of course, there. Could have had a better day with the premiums. College basketball, we had the winner with Incarnate Word and NAU. Another winner here with Charlotte and UIC over. We had another winner with St. Louis and New Hampshire over. So we tracked those winners here a little bit. You got to check it out over at winnable.com. So you get the plays, and then we show you if we won or lost. Full transparency here, and some other plays over the weekend as well. Check me out over at winnable.com. Saturday was a good day over the weekend. So they come to you just like this, and you get the plays there delivered to your inbox. You can set the notifications as well, and there you see just a steady stream of plays from me over at winnable.com. So why not check it out over at Winnable? This is how you support me here on the channel for just pennies a day here. 41 cents when you subscribe and use the promo code STEAM at checkout. Save 20%. Guarantees you get more plays from me. I'm only here, right, for a couple of hours every day, but my plays come out usually right when Mikey takes the air. My plays get sent right in there around the 6 p.m. mark, 6:30 for the primetime action. And again, I really do appreciate it here, especially heading into the holidays. So check me out over at winnable.com. All right, and we're ready to go. Nuke says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And like I said, we'll be by tonight. Twisted's already to go with he's got his whole game plan here. Colts under, Taylor, McCaffrey over there. So he likes them to have a big game, but still stay under that number. And he says, I'm just gambling. And Greg says he liked Dan Fouts, and then after that he liked LaDainian as well. Yeah, some of my favorites for sure here. Man, you got to be bullish on what's going on here with the market, you guys. Is that thing going straight up or what? Anybody feel me here at this point? They said the Santa Claus rally was in effect today. Here we go. Maybe it'll be a great day. All right. Hey, Wilson Contreras got traded from the Cardinals to the Red Sox there late last night, huh? And let's see here. Baker Mayfield. Well, look, Danny Dimes got injured. I mean, I don't think I don't know if he was going to win the MVP, but I mean, he is a big part of the Colts' future just because we have to watch Phillip Rivers tonight. Hey, it was tough that he had to go down with that injury. I mean, the Colts I don't think they would have been such a tailspin as, Jones is a very capable quarterback, and just unfortunate that they don't have him. I was at the game that Dalian Tomlinson had at the time set the touchdown record against Kansas City. Chargers were in their heyday a little bit, but maybe this will be the year. Maybe the LA Chargers will win the Super Bowl. I'll be happy. Okay, we'll just get to the game. Twisted's ready to go here as well. There was just some steam that came in on Florida State in their game today. Florida State here taking on Jacksonville. Florida State was a 24-point favorite, and they're up here now, going up to 26. It looks like here right now with Florida State taking that steam this morning, up to 27 here at Circa with that early move. We'll have some other steam. I'm sure we'll have more steam here with this big card today. Also, Eastern Washington and BYU steam to the over. subscribers if they notice that already. We sent that out and went over in that game. So hopefully you guys are already on it a little bit. Also, one other one just in here was we were coming on the air, IU Indy in Grand Canyon. Of course, IU Indy to go over, right? It's only 168 tonight. Steam came in on the over, but we know that not always going over that Indianapolis. Twisted thinks he's gonna wants Philip Rivers to get out there and look like he never really could, shot putting the ball. And yeah, we lost that playoff game. Should have beat the Patriots as well, and they got fired there. Marty did. Crazy, think about Schottenheimer with the Cowboys, and Chargers fired Schottenheimer after he lost a playoff game. The team was 14-2, lost the playoff game. They fired him. That wasn't a smart decision. Twisted liking what he sees from Drake May. All right, let's start the show, man. We got some games here. And get your pens. Get your pens or rotation order ready. Let's talk about Monday Night Football here, shall we? Get ready to go on this show. With the 49ers taking on the Colts, NFL Monday Night Football here from Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. We'll be here with the companion stream at 4:45 Eastern Pacific, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific tonight. Here with the companion stream for Monday Night Football. Two teams, unfortunately, going in opposite directions here. San Francisco comes in with a 4-game winning streak. They're also one of the best road teams for sure against the spread this season. That's kind of what has made them look so good here. And again, we were talking last night with Razor on the show, and he pointed out the ridiculous value here with San Francisco. But we're not necessarily saying you'll go out and think that San Francisco is going to win the Super Bowl, but right now with these this price here, if you get 15-1, 18-1, could do worse than taking San Francisco. That could still end up with a very high seed and not only play a home game, but also the Super Bowl's in San Francisco this year. The Colts, meanwhile, come in with a 4-game losing streak, and have turned to old man Rivers to kind of make sure they can give it one last go. Look, the percentages aren't great here for the Colts heading into tonight's game or these last games here. In fact, the Colts right now on the metric sites are 11%. If they win this game to make the playoffs, 5% right now to get in. So they're already toast. They need to win and get a ton of help. And they still lost 4 straight, still lost that game last week with Rivers in the lineup. Yeah, they covered 12.5 with ease. And what you're going to get here with Rivers. Yeah, he's shot putting the ball. It doesn't look real good, but again, in the NFL, sometimes you just need that game manager in there. He knows how to make all the plays, or I should say knows how to manipulate the plays, get rid of it, don't take sacks. He's going to have Jonathan Taylor tonight in a great position here in this game. The Niners don't have the best defense this season because they've been hurt. And Jonathan Taylor is going to be in a great position tonight to have a big game, I believe, for the Colts here. And, give them the best chance to win. They're underdogs in this game by 5.5 points. I mean, that's a big deal right now. So Indianapolis at home trying to, they were 7-1 guys, and now here they are just fighting to try to barely stay alive, and they're pretty much toast anyways. San Francisco's won those last 4 games over Arizona, Carolina, Cleveland, and Tennessee. Not a difficult schedule by any stretch, but still covered the spread, laying big points. in those games, and they won the games basically by a combined 61 points in the last 4 games, and they've allowed, uh, you know, in those 2 of those games, Carolina gave up 9 points, 8 points to Cleveland. Uh, Only beat Tennessee by 13, covered by a half point. Beat up on Arizona, covered that one as well. The Niners are 5-0 against the spread on the road this year as a favorite, and 12-6-1. Last 19 is a road favorite as well. Last 5 wins all by 10 or more points, basically. They are 7-12 against the spread against non-conference competition. Also, just 3-11 against the spread after a win, and that's with this little streak of winning games here. They were really having trouble in that category. So their dominance as a road favorite, to me, kind of aligns with a positive game script. But laying 5.5 points at the Colts, that in their own building here, the Niners are good, but not special. Let's see what the Colts can do. Let's see what you guys think. They've lost 5 of their last 6, obviously, and no touchdowns last week in that loss to Seattle there. Rivers basically was in his first game back in 5 years. So the one thing he is reunited with Shane Steichen. These two have been together since the days in San Diego. They said, oh, well, hey, Rivers knows the Colts. Rivers knows Steichen. That other Colts team that he was on was a different regime for the most part. Colts are 5-1 straight up at home. 7-6. ATS is a home underdog dating back to last season. Last 4 games really can't produce a ton of yardage, only averaging about 250 yards really in the last 4 games, maybe about 265 or so. Now, this series belongs to the Colts, even though they don't meet very frequently. Colts have still won 4 straight against the Niners, 5 straight actually, 4-1 ATS. So Colts home straight up strength to me might be for real here with that 6-1 record, but Niners 6-2 on the road. But I don't know. I think the Colts going to be live here in this one. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this matchup. San Francisco and Indy here tonight. Okay, chat. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at what we got. Rivers would get the respect here. He put his own Hall of Fame entry, or at least I'm not even convinced he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but did delay it a little bit by coming back. Robert liking the under in this one. And R. Tom's liking the under as well. Hello to AOD in the chat today. Great to have AOD. Greg here. He likes the Colts in the under, it looks like. All right. And let's see. Terrell says Colts over 20.5 there. That's on his points, huh? Okay. He's comparing him a little bit to Flacco. I don't even know if we could do that. I mean, yes, Flacco got up off the couch too. Flacco's arm strength, definitely this Phillip Rivers arm strength situation is a real deal. I mean, it's not just some, hey, look at this guy, maybe it'll be better next week. I don't think it's going to be better. I mean, it's going to be a real struggle. Thank goodness they've got Jonathan Taylor here tonight. Rivers is in a good position. I mean, you can't do too bad with Pittman, with Downs, with Pierce, guys who can go up a little bit and get the ball as well. That helps a guy like Rivers. Now, the guy to watch tonight, I think, is Ty Warren. Phillip loves his tight ends, and he's got a good one here in Warren, who could have a strong game tonight. The matchup's decent for Warren, but I think of just what Phillip Rivers needs, I think Ty Warren is going to be a man to look at tonight in the prop categories, probably in his receptions tonight. For Brock Purdy and the 49ers here, look, you got McCaffrey. You got a good setup with your receivers, although I don't know if these are the guys you want on a Super Bowl run, but Jennings, Robinson, Kendrick Bourne, Kittle, a great matchup tonight. the tight ends could be going crazy here tonight, it feels like. AJ's in the chat. Twisted said he's going to go under 49.5, take the Colts somewhere around 28-21. He likes Taylor and McCaffrey over there and both to score a touchdown. Hello to Jimmy in the chat. He's ready for a winner tonight, a home run winner. All right. And Jimmy was on the Fins there yesterday. Yeah, I thought that Miami might have a pretty good game there, but man, it was 14-10 Miami in that game at one point. Then the Bengals just went off. I kind of feel like it was more the defense. All right, let's see here. Indy money line for 9 Legacy. And Twisted liking that Warren look. And Greg had a big parlay there. All right, I guess not much from you guys. It's a toughie here, maybe for this one. But man, San Francisco is certainly just going very confident here right now. And with McCaffrey, with Kittle, with Purdy, gotta respect what the Niners are doing. But I want to grab those points. Figure they can stay in here. I'm not. Rivers, I think the point spread in these last 2 games are a reflection of the fact that Rivers isn't getting any respect really by odds makers or by the betting public in general. I think it's just more of a little bit of a feel-good story for sure, but there's no doubt he can come in and hand the ball off effectively, throw some short passes effectively. It also looked Rivers under in his long pass proposition. I don't know if it's gone down a little bit. I thought it was 27.5, but I would probably look to go under in the long pass completion for Phillip Rivers tonight. I don't know if he'll be. We know Rivers shot putting that ball down the field. There's no doubt that is what it looks like. All right, Greg says San Francisco has stepped up, no doubt. Razor mentioned it. It's just ironic that Razor mentioned it on the show yesterday. I had just placed, and I thought we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show. There was another show about San Francisco and their futures price right now is good. Whether you think they're, not going to say they're, they are better than any of those top teams. Maybe they're equal to them, but talking about the Seahawks, the Bears, the Eagles, the Rams, all the teams that have qualified in the NFC. 49ers can play with those teams. They're a little bit against it because of the key losses to the star players on defense. With Fred Warner, I mean, you're basically losing the heart and soul of your team and a guy like Fred Warner this season, but other injuries as well to this defense. Nick Bosa here as well. Pearsall is out tonight. That was kind of the biggest takeaway here for the 49ers and for the Colts. Pierce is probable. DeForest Buckner probable as well. So good game tonight. We'll see you guys tonight. I think that's it from you guys in the chat. So I'll go ahead and take the Indianapolis Colts here as my pick on the show. Give me the Colts plus the 5.5 here tonight against the 49ers. I think 49ers can still win this game. I'm not thinking they're going to get upset, but I'm not going to lay 5.5 here. This Colts team, they're still
Steam play.
This is a team that was definitely clicking, lost a quarterback that was playing at a near MVP level in Danny Dimes. And what Terrell said is true. There were weeks there where, he was talked about as looking pretty strong. Unfortunate to go down with injury there, and they've had problems since then. And they even talked about, Richardson here maybe to come back. Now, I know first everybody's saying, why, where is he? Why isn't he here? All of a sudden, Phillip comes in, starts working with Richardson a little bit, and, there's a chance that if the Colts could get hold here of what's going on, they don't necessarily need to stay with Rivers. Richardson would be in position to return, and they could still be alive. But, all right, High Point just took some steam here against Bryant. High Point was a 17-point favorite, and they're moving up. They're moving higher. High Point, and right now High Point is favored here in this one over Bryant, and the line there is currently up to 19 for High Point. All right, I guess we'll move on. You guys got your plays in. Thank you very much. And we got a bowl game today to talk about. How about that? Let's go to a bowl game here in Boise, Idaho, with the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Who doesn't want to get some French fries dumped on them in the middle of December on blue AstroTurf as Washington State heads into the famous Idaho Potato Bowl as a good, strong defensive first team, I think is the way I would describe them. And they'll wrap up their season here in the Pac-2 before being in the expanded Pac-12 next season with a team like Utah State. The Cougars aren't very explosive. They're averaging just 21.5 points per game and 315 yards, but their defense is pretty good, allowing just 20 points per game. And they've handled 3 bowl-eligible teams this season, covering 6 of their last 8 non-conference games dating back to last season. Also, Utah State, despite they were being favored here in Boise, they're familiar with the setting. They just never beat Boise pretty much. But maybe that's a little different with Washington State. But still, they've gone just 2-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 bowl games. Talking about the Utah State Aggies here. Bronco Mendenhall does bring strong bowl experience. He's won 4 straight as a favorite and went 3-1 against the spread as a favorite here. Tough to say, though. The line right now, I'm listing it as a pick 'em. So, I don't know if that stat can be, and they have 1 bowl. But Mendenhall has 1 bowls, but his teams kind of underperform in this role, talking about when they're in a game that is a single-digit spread, basically 7 points or less, and going up against teams that are mediocre bowl teams. Believe me, Utah State, the few bowls they've been in recently again are kind of against teams like this. You got 2 6-6 teams here right now in this game. So, but Utah's been terrific against the spread this year, going 10-2 ATS for right now. Washington State, good numbers too. They're 8-4 ATS here this season. So, these teams have good spread records. It's just that this is where Utah State has usually come to fail a little bit. Teams met last year was 49-28. Washington State did put the hurt on them there. Washington State may have been hurt by their conference situation this year, if you will, down to the Pac-2 this year with the Oregon State situation, playing them for the championship twice, basically. So, but Washington's defense, like I said, I think they're a disciplined team, and Utah State, they're just a little bit vulnerable, it feels like, in a bowl game like this. So you might consider Utah State the home team, but it's not like Boise is out of the way from either Pullman, or Logan. I mean, it's kind of like, let's meet in the middle and let's duke it out here in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Get those French fries dumped on your head. Let's see if you guys have anything in the chat. Feels like a tight, low-scoring game to me, quite frankly. And Washington State has gone under here now, and I think 8 straight, basically, all going under. Utah State's gone under here a lot in late season games. They are 5-7 to the under this season. So let me go to the chat, see what you guys have here in this one. With our bowl game, this is at 2 Eastern and 11 Pacific today. All right, do we have some comments? Greg says Washington State's money here in this one. All right. Could get the win there, obviously. Robert on the under. And Washington State will be great. So not much from you guys either in this one. Let me check to see how many people are watching right now. We've got 4 dozen of you here, but no one's really to go out on a limb in this one. I'll take Washington State in this one. Give me the Cougs here on the Morning Steam Show to win this one at a pick'em, and that total at 40. It's 49.5. I'm also showing Utah State has moved to a 1-point favorite, so let's at least change the line here a little bit. Call it -1 and 49. At the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. I think both teams kind of trend heavily to the under right now. Like I said, Washington State just allowing 20 points per game as well. So I think given the defensive nature of the matchup, probably stay under here. All right, but I'll take Washington State as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, Twisted went under the bigger number of 53 here. Yeah, it's definitely gone down. I think that the public kind of buying into what I'm talking about here right now. So, okay, man, that is it. Nobody liking this bowl game today. Can I tempt you with some NBA basketball tonight here on the Morning Steam? Let's get into this card. And start it off with the Charlotte Hornets. They're going to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. NBA action here for Monday, 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. Cleveland 9.5. Total here 238.5. Wow, that's a high total, but maybe warranted here. Charlotte comes in having won 2 of its Charlotte comes in here having won 2 of its last 3 games. Coming into this one, Cleveland's in a bit of a spread funk. They've failed to cover here in 5 straight games right now. And Charlotte's doing an okay job here covering 13 and 11 ATS as an underdog, but it's more the poor form of Cleveland this season. They are 15 and 14 straight up, just barely a 500 team here, and they're favored by 9 points, despite the fact that they're 8 and 21 against the spread coming into this game, 4 and 13 against the spread at home, 7 and 19 against the spread as a favorite. Now you got this total pretty hefty here. Both teams are kind of going under here for sure, and Charlotte games continue to play lower, but I think against one another, I kind of feel like it might be a higher scoring game. It is pretty high there right now, having gone up here to 238.5. It's definitely shown some movement to the over in this game. You do have Cleveland here 5 and 12 to the under at home. Charlotte 7 and 17 to the under as a dog. So, I think the public here continuing to press this one on the over, but I'm not sure. Let me hear from you guys in the chat. I'd be a little intimidated considering these 2 teams are combined 23 and 36 to the under here so far this season. But there's no doubt the total was kind of on the move early, and it looked like a pretty solid move, but I'm just not sure I can get behind what the public is doing here in this one early on. Let's hear from you in the chat. You guys are a little more interested in the NBA. All right. Here we go with, hey, hello to Steve Zhang in the chat. Nice to see you, Steve. Really appreciate you being here. Let me hear from you. If you got a pick with me, thanks for being a member of the Chat All-Stars today. Remember, anybody who is a member in the Chat All-Stars gets an entry into my drawing here at the end of the show, where we'll pick one name to get a subscription here to my plays. Hopefully it works out. hey, you could say you're visiting this chat for the first time. You might have a good sports betting day. Check me out there, and I'll have the drawing at the end of the show. Okay, here we go. Twisted says, kind of think they can upset this Cavs team and win outright. Yeah, 9 points, right? I mean, are we really dealing with that here? The uh, Cavaliers certainly one of the worst teams against the spread going this season. 9 legacy on the Hornets. Greg here, I think he likes the Hornets as well, but he likes the over for sure. Does Greg? Twisted likes the over. Hello to Elliot coming to us from North Carolina. And how about ECU in North Carolina meeting here? He's also with Charlotte and the under in this game. A little bit of steam coming in here right now with Wright State. Wright State in their matchup with Eastern Michigan. Wright State taking the steam. They were 7-point favorites. They're probably going up here to 9 right now with Wright State. The Raiders taking the steam here this morning. Cleveland ain't worried about covering, just winning. I think you're right about that, Greg. They could do a better job of winning right now. We're not getting our usual Cleveland here, it looks like. But they're also losing here of late. They just lost back-to-back games against the Bulls, and they're on a non-cover streak for sure. At least Charlotte has won and covered 2 of their last 3. In fact, these 2 teams met just 8 days ago. It was 119 to 111. In that one, the Hornets ended a losing streak against the Cavs, got the win and the money as 11.5-point dogs. Robert says take the Hornets here. Terrell says no mob, no cover. Cavs' last double-digit win was December 5th. So how are you going to win this one? Could Spider go for 40, says AOD. And there's Elliot. UNC is going to kill ECU. Uh-oh. All right, I gotcha. Yeah, North Carolina's doing a good job covering ECU, not so much, but ECU, that offense just quiet clicking so far for the Pirates, huh? All right. In this one, I'm going to go ahead and take the under here. My algorithm here, my model might like the over, but I'm going to veto it, and I'm going under with these 2. All right, next up. Pacers taking on the Celtics today here, NBA action for Monday with Boston favored by another 9.5 here, 224.5. Indiana just 6-22. They've lost 4 straight again here. Boston's won a couple in a row at least, coming in with wins over Miami and Toronto. They got the money in both those. Indiana, meanwhile, 4-game losing streak of 1-3. Against the spread in those games. Seeing the Celtics here moving to a 10-point favorite here right now. Jaylen Brown, though, questionable for this game, so could be missing his 30 points here today. And we'll see if he makes this lineup. Pretty much a solid guy to get in there and play most of the games this season. Brown's missed just 2 games so far, but does feel like a bit of a question mark coming in for Indiana here. McConnell's questionable. Furpy's questionable as well. So see what you got in this one with the Pacers. Taking on the Celtics here tonight at TD Garden. And go to the chat too with you guys and see what you like with this one. Boston, pretty elite form at home spread-wise right now. If you think about it, they're just 8-6 ATS overall. But Charlotte here, Boston here. Usually these 2 teams get into some high-scoring games. Indiana did win the last matchup here in Boston just last year. It was 123-114. This is the first meeting of the season between the 2 teams. But Indiana's covered a few here for sure. They've covered 2 of the last 3, two of the last 3 last season.
Steam play.
And right now, that I mentioned that, I just want to say that. Boston here is getting steamed right now. The steam just came in. I said, oh, look, they're up to 10. forget it. They're just up to 11 right now here. Boston taking some big-time steam in this game against Indiana right here as we speak on the Morning Steam Show. You can check it out. Look at your rotation. Look at your betting board here. You've got Boston 11 now, right now. And the total down to 224.5 here in this one. So let me hear from you in the chat and see what you guys like in this one. Like I said, Boston on a bit of a roll here right now. 8-2 ATS in their last 10. Hey, Bethune-Cookman's taking some steam right now in their matchup with Arizona tonight. Bethune-Cookman, BCU, they were getting 40.5, but they're down to 38 here right now. 38.5 maybe, but Bethune-Cookman has taken the steam against Arizona. Okay. Maybe down to 39, 38.5 here. Arizona undefeated, Bethune-Cookman 3-8, but you know those sharps, they don't play sides, they just play numbers. All right, here we go with you guys in the chat in this one. Let's see what we got. Over for Twisted. Greg says Boston seems like they've just hit the switch right now. Yeah, maybe it is. Okay, Greg here, though. Greg definitely likes Indiana here in this one. And Twisted maybe going, I don't know, but are we talking about this great game, Greg? Because I don't know if this is going over. I don't know if this one's going over right now. The totals might say you got Indiana 3-10 to the under on the road right now. So that has me mostly concerned. Look, Indiana is not a great number necessarily. Boston's getting the job done. So might be a bit of it could be a blowout here for Boston. Yeah, they're not always getting the money in these, but right now they are kind of clicking here. And oh boy, it's up to 11 here right now with Boston tonight. But I do kind of want to. I have to take it. I'm going to lay it with Boston. I'm going to think they blow them out. I'm going to take the Celtics here. Already missed the best of the price, so I'll just make it as my pick here. I was actually thinking about 9.5 back when it was 9.5. All right. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. NBA action for Monday night. New Orleans coming in here. They've moved to the favorite here, I think 1.5 right now. Pelicans here. Let me update that. I think Pelicans have moved to a slight favorite here at 1.5. Let's call it that. Pelicans are just 7-22 right now, but Dallas is just 11-18. But New Orleans playing their best basketball of the season here right now with 4 straight wins. Wins over Portland, Chicago, Houston, and Indiana. It's not bad for New Orleans here. They're really coming on. Cooper Flag questionable. Clay is questionable. Christie's questionable. Herb Jones questionable for the Pelicans. But other than that, kind of a clean bill of health. New Orleans is really one of the better spread teams going here right now. 11-5 against the spread at home. They've covered 9 of their last 10. This is only the 3rd time all season that they've been a favorite here. And they're not necessarily a favorite everywhere. They're still a pick 'em in a few places. Still, Dallas is a pretty decent cover as well. 7-3 ATS in the last 10. 13-8 as an underdog, if you do consider them a bit of an underdog here. The Pelicans are having just a great ATS run, a streak here for sure right now. And I think they're probably alive to win this game. They've also gone 13-4 to the over at home this season, have the Pelicans. Both teams are kind of trending towards higher totals, especially New Orleans in these home games. Dallas is 7-3 to the over in their last 10 coming in. The series, though, has gone under in 3 straight. The teams have met already twice this season, splitting a couple of games in Dallas in November. Pelicans won the first one, 101-99, then lost the second one, 118-115. New Orleans actually went into that game as a road favorite and lost the game. Well, looking back at that now, that's going to be that sounds kind of funny, but this total's pretty high, but I'll probably go over 241 here with Dallas and New Orleans. already gone up here a couple of points, but I'm going to go over with these two. And let me hear from you in the chat. Chat All-Stars. I think the Chat All-Stars have already gone on vacation here a little bit. All right, Twisted like the over in that other game. I got you, Twisted. The New Orleans covered 9 straight as a home favorite, says Steve, and also against the Western Conference doing pretty well. 9 straight as a home favorite. Wow, Steve. I think that's kind of why. I probably like them in the game. Sounds like you do too. Greg says it'll be 122 to 120. 9 Legacy likes the Pelicans to cover. And Greg says quick revenge. He likes the revenge factor for Dallas. Well, Dallas won the last game, so I don't know. They did lose. Like I said, they lost one of them, but then they've already come back and beaten them. The revenge would be for New Orleans here. Robert here is on the under. Our Tomps likes Dallas. Greg says Dallas has the better lineup than New Orleans. Terrell says we got 2 young teams like this, so you got to go over. Thanks, Twisted. Always great to see you in there. All right, I'll keep moving on here. This could be a fast show with the lack of All-Star. We only got the old All-Stars. All right, Jazz and Nuggets here with the Nuggets. Been hot for sure, but they are coming in off of a loss right now. Nuggets are favored by 13.5. 249. Here, we're just getting an injury update, a little bit of information on the game here this morning with Kevin Love reported out of this game. Really, the only short-term injury of note other than that is Markkanen. You got to note that he is questionable with a groin injury, so that's a big deal here for Utah. Markkanen averaging almost 28 points per game here. Well, Watson is questionable for Denver, but a lot hinges on the status of Markkanen here. And the spread at 13.5. It has gone down a little bit. This one opened as high as 15.5, so maybe it could be in this game. See what you guys have in the chat here. Utah's covered 4 straight right now. They've been a strong underdog. 13-10 ATS as a dog, just 4-7 though ATS on the road. Still, Utah's covered 7 of their last 10 overall. Denver here 14-9 ATS as a favorite this season, so not bad. This total's pretty high, but I don't know. I think it'll probably be a high-scoring game right there. Here's some steam coming in on Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson was getting 17, but it's down to 15 here right now. The steam came in on Fairleigh Dickinson over Boston College here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, so a couple of division rivals here. Denver owns these guys for sure. Not only do they own them, they cover every single time right now. Already have not met yet this season, but won and covered all 4 meetings last year, including 129-103 here, 132-121 here. Those are all covers. They laid double digits 3 times against these guys and did it each time. And they did it going back to the year before that as well. Oh, man, the Raiders are getting steamed right now. I guess the Sharps would like what they saw. Let's see what that line's going down to. The Raiders are getting steamed right now in their game on Sunday. Raiders are a 1.5 point favorite. They were a 1.5 point dog. They were a dog, but now they're favored against the Giants. I guess after what we saw, what a doozy that one's going to be. Giants and Raiders there. The Eagles and the Bills are playing the afternoon feature on Sunday. There's only 2 games in the 4 o'clock window. The other one is the Raiders. Raiders and the Giants, the 2 teams combined for 4 wins this season. Okay, so Denver's won and covered 6 straight against these guys right now. And if no Markkanen in there, I guess I could only go with the information I have. And we'll see if Markkanen makes the lineup. I think it points to a high-scoring game here still. We could see this one get over 250, but I'm going to lay the big points. I'm going to go ahead and lay Denver here with minus 14.5 or whatever it is right now. I think what did I say? It's gone down a little bit to 13. I'm showing 13 minus 15 at Bet Online. So I'm going to lay it here with Denver today in this one. Denver did lose to Houston last time out, but that only ended their hot streak. They weren't playing. They won and covered against Charlotte, Sacramento, Houston, and Orlando. I don't know if they covered that Charlotte game actually, but still, Utah, pretty good run here, no doubt about it, covering these numbers. But I'm going to take Denver to blow them out tonight. Okay, let's see here. Robert liking Denver as well. Greg says Denver beats them by 20 coming off a loss here. And Chris says, that's going to be, that's the is that the tankathon game of the year there between is that what he's saying? The tankathon game of the year between the Raiders and the Giants, right? So maybe the Giants want that draft pick just a little more. They're going to go in there and lose this game for sure. Both teams come in with 9-game losing streaks. So why not? Like I said, the no parity this year in the NFL like we've seen in years past. Right now, going into the final 2 weeks of the season, you've got 9 teams with double-digit losses already in the NFL. It's top heavy for sure. Okay, guess that's it for that one. Our Tom's likes the over with me in a wild one. Grizzlies and Thunder here, NBA action for Monday night. We've got the Thunder coming in here. Oh, the Thunder's struggling right now. Oh, boy. They've lost 2 of their last 3. You got to think that it's all over for the Thunder here. They're favored by 16 to 29.5. Thunder still. I mean, we're not going to make too much fun of them. 8-6 ATS at home. Look, they're great, but they really are just a 500 proposition for the most part, spread-wise. A little bit over, but you know what I mean. 13-0 straight up at home this season still for the Thunder. They're going to lose one of these times. Memphis, so comes in 5-11 ATS as an underdog. Although 7-7 ATS on the road. Give them a chance here. Memphis did win here. Been a while, actually. First meeting was 114-100. Oklahoma City won at home as a 10.5-point favorite. Oklahoma City's dominated straight up and against the spread in this series, actually. Memphis, though, comes in having won 2 of their last 3 over the Clippers in Minnesota. They did have a clunker at home against Washington, losing by 8 as a 12.5-point favorite. So this is usually an under series, but the total's already moved higher here from 227 to 229.5, and I think we could see maybe this one be a little bit high scoring. There was some morning injury information here. John Morant is out. We know that. Chet is questionable for the Thunder here, but the news that just came out here over the last few minutes was Uzamain Dang. He's out of tonight's game for the Thunder. He'll join Hartenstein. Jalen Williams here is out as well. Caruso is questionable. Wiggins is questionable for the Thunder. They've got some issues. For the Grizzlies, though, Williams Jr. is out. Brandon Clark is out. And there's some guys missing here for Memphis as well. So let's see what you have here in this one. Memphis, like I said, they do struggle right now as a dog. But can Oklahoma City get back to their form? Are they still laying too much? These guys are tough to figure out. Chris Warren, hello. Nice to see you in the chat, Chris. Hello. Our Tom's likes the Thunder here. Greg says, let's see here. Oh, OKC owns Memphis, says Steve. So maybe they could click here a little bit. That's it from you guys in the chat. Man, leaving the pressure here. I know it's the NBA segment. I went 5-1 yesterday, so I better get these right. I think that's what the chat's saying. Get it right, Ramon. Yeah, it looks like Chet may miss this one. Robert's in there on Memphis there, and it's a lot of points, right? Especially for a Memphis team that's kind of covered a few here of late. When Oklahoma City was favored against Memphis in a matchup last year, they Twice they were favored by about the same margin. They did go 1-1 against the spread in those games. So, all right, yeah, give me Memphis here in this one. Can't crush them all the time, right? And without Ja, we want them, right? Is that right? Without Ja, we're in. Robert likes the over for sure. I'm on the over, yeah. All right. Magic and Warriors here. NBA action for Monday night. Orlando 16-12. Golden State 14-13. Believe it or not, Warriors have lost 3 of their last 4 games coming in. Losses to Minnesota, Portland, and Phoenix. Although they did come back to beat Phoenix in a rematch the next a few days later, but they failed to cover in that game. In fact, Golden State has failed to cover in 4 straight. They're 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10, 8-11 against the spread as a favorite. Orlando, meanwhile, they are 4-4 ATS as an underdog. Orlando did win the first meeting, 121-113. Got the win at home. Now they come in here and they're getting some points. They're coming in off of a win over Utah, but they did not cover, laying 7.5. And before that, they lost to the Knicks. They lost to Denver in a couple of blowouts. They failed to cover in 3 straight. These two teams are combined 33-24 to the over. Orlando's 6-2 to the over as a dog. Golden State's 12-7 to the over as a favorite. Warriors do have a long-term advantage over Orlando, pretty much winning all the games here for several years when playing Orlando at home. Golden State, though, when they get into these non-conference games against Eastern Conference foes, it usually goes under, but I think I'm going to go with the over tonight with Orlando and Golden State. I just think Orlando on the road gives up a little more. Total here 228 right now. The spread is 5.5, maybe 6 in this one. I'm going to go over with the Magic and the Warriors here tonight on Monday. All right, let's see what we got here from the chat in this one. And Warriors for 9 Legacy says lay it against Orlando tonight. Thank you to 9 Legacy. One more here in the NBA. Pistons on the road taking on the Trailblazers. Pistons come in 22-6. Back to their winning ways. Yeah, they lost 1 to Dallas, but did bounce back with a win and cover at home against Charlotte. For Portland, meanwhile, Portland comes in here having won 3 straight, 2 of them over Sacramento on back-to-back, but they only covered 1 of those games. Portland comes in here in an astonishing 13-4 against the spread as an underdog, 7-4 against the spread at home. Portland's been a big time over this season, 18-10 to the over overall, 8-3 to the over at home, although Detroit is 5-8 to the under on the road. These two teams met just about 2.5 weeks ago, and it was Detroit winning it. 122-118. Detroit was an 8-point favorite at home. They did not cover in that one. And look, Portland, they're a good cover. What can you say? As an underdog, they usually come through. Still pretty much a mismatch between these two teams, but see what you got here. I think I'm going to go to the total here in this one. And it's already gone down here a little bit from 236, but I'm on the under in this one with Detroit and Portland tonight. I've got the under for sure. All right. It's AOD in there. Man, AODs are so happy with this team right now. Magic, let's see. Trailblazers for Chris Warren. I'm going to take the under. All right, gang, I'll just keep it moving here today. Waiting on my picks. Hey, let's go to the game here. It starts in 30 minutes. All right, New Haven and Fordham here. And look, it's on ESPN+. We're going to be at the Rose Hill Gym, of course, home of the Fordham Rams. And let's get it going here with Fordham as a favor. We're going to do the first game, of course, here of the day, right? We got to do it. Fordham comes in here. Oh my gosh, they're 14.5 now. Really? 14.5? Okay. Well, I get it. I mean, New Haven, they're kind of a new entry these days. Total here, maybe it's up to 127.5 here in this one. And look, I mean, I think if you look at these two teams, what we've seen so far from, I think these two teams that most stands out are unders. These two teams are combined 4-13 to the under so far this season. Fordham's 2-6 to the under at home. Meanwhile, New Haven 1-4 to the under as a dog coming in, but New Haven has lost 3 straight to Seton Hall, to Boston College. They just lost to NJIT 70-64 as a 1.5 point favorite. So they did beat Delaware State. They beat Lowell as well for Fordham here. Wins and covers over Fairleigh Dickinson. They laid 12, covered easy. They beat Manhattan, covered that one by 9 in a 29-point win. So Fordham's had some nice wins here, but New Haven is 4-1 against the spread on the road. I'm going to parlay the game. I'm playing side and total here in the first game. It's a solo game. Hey, we're gambling. I'm going to take New Haven plus 14.5, and I'm going to go under 127.5 here on the morning steam. I'm going to parlay it up today. If I liked one over the other, it'd probably be the under because of the solid trends here with these two teams. But it might be reflected in the total as well. The modest 128 here in this one. So Fordham, pretty good solid record here, 8-4 overall. New Haven just 5-6. They're 1-4 straight up on the road. But again, a 14.5 point spread here. That's too high. I think that's too high. To be honest with you. Okay, here's a little steam coming in. Edwardsville and Western Illinois. Couple teams that aren't too fond of each other, huh? Total here moving higher in this one. Steam coming in on the over. It was 133.5, but looks like we're up here at about 135.5 here with Edwardsville and Western Illinois, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific time. All right, guess that's it for that early college game, but we're going to get it underway. We'll be done with the show here by then. We can watch a little college basketball. Lots of early games. It's holiday week here, so we're going to have some daytime action over the next couple of days. Grab your family, go down and take in a college game here. So, all right. Anything from the chat here in this one? Not much. No, nothing. I'll keep going. College basketball with me here. Siena taking on Indiana. Both teams 9-3, 23.5 point spread, but definitely two of the better teams win-loss percentage wise here. So I thought I'd choose this one to go over. The Saints come in here. They were on a bit of a winning streak. They did lose last time out to Vermont, but they'd won and covered some nice games, really. They covered against American, covered against Niagara, covered against Canisius. Those last two were double-digit spreads. They did fail against Maine, but they did win the game at least. And it's tough. Vermont's a tough team. Siena's 4-2 against the spread on the road. Indiana's 6-2 against the spread as a favorite right now. And like I said, they're favored here by 23 points. But they're not covering here really of late. Indiana beat Chicago State. They couldn't even cover against Chicago State. I know they were laying 36.5, but they only beat them by 20. They lost to Kentucky. They lost to Louisville. They lost to Minnesota. That's not Siena. I gotcha there, but nonetheless, Siena 4-8 to the under so far this season, although they're 2-0 to the over as a dog, and Indiana's 5-3 to the over as a favorite here. The steam came in on Indiana. That's still a pretty big number. I want to say Siena, there's no doubt they played a much softer schedule and all that, but it's down to 22 here right now, 143.5. Let's see if you guys have anything in this one. I'll just assume not. That's okay. Okay, let me see your picks here if we got any. Oops, here we go. There we go. Eric Acevedo's in the chat. He likes Sienna. Robert likes the under. So does R. Thompson. This one, both on the under in this matchup. Okay, yeah, I kind of want to go over myself, so I can't. I'm going to go against my crew there a little bit. I'm begging for plays in the chat, but I'm going to go over here with Sienna and Indiana in this one. All right, Greg in there liking IU. I think he likes IU to cover, and he likes the over. There you go, Greg. Illinois and Missouri. This one's in St. Louis tonight. Two teams with strong records here so far. Got Illinois here, a 9-point favorite right now. Total in this one at 155 and a half. In fact, Illinois is up to 10. Wow. Well, Illinois, obviously a little bit better team here. Like I said, neutral site game, but in St. Louis, there'll be some Illini support there for sure. Illinois is the ranked team. They come in 8-3, ranked 18th. Missouri's won 2 straight. They are unranked, but they're 10-2 overall. Now, look, Missouri, you look at some of the games, they just beat Bethune-Cookman and covered. They played, I think, was it Alabama State? Let me see here. Oh. All right. I think they played Alabama State. There we go. 85-77. That's they started the season 8-0, playing a pretty weak schedule. Then they did beat Minnesota at home. They routed South Dakota. They beat Cleveland State, but they lost to Notre Dame. They lost to Kansas. Came back here with wins over Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. Been a weak schedule for sure for Missouri, but Illinois has played a much tougher schedule. In fact, they lost to Nebraska last time out. They beat Ohio State in Big Ten play for a 1-1 start. Now they dip out of conference here. For this one, is it really going to be enough focus? Can just playing Missouri kind of spur you and wake up here and cover double digits when you're in the middle of your conference season? Basically, it already started now, and then you got to go play this kind of neutral site game. Is that a bit of a negative? Missouri here, 0-1 so far as an underdog against the spread. They've been favored in all those games. Illinois here 4-3 against the spread as a favorite. Illinois is 4-7 to the under so far. Missouri's 5-7 to the under coming in this one. I've got the under. I'm taking the under with Illinois and Missouri State. Give me the under. Illinois is 4-3 to the over as a favorite, but I'm going to take the under in this one. And let's see here. Jerry said, what is that? Is that right state? Is that right state, Jerry? Robert's on Missouri here. He also likes the over. Art Tomps likes the over. Robert and Art Tomps, two of my favorites, totally in step, and I'm just basically shooting them down. Or vice versa, maybe. That's all right. That's all right, gang. All right, couple more here in college basketball. Got an interesting one here. Davidson taking on KU in this one. KU is a big favorite here, but look, you're still taking on. You still got Davidson coming in here, 8-3 right now. KU just ranked 17th. They have won 3 straight, however, with wins over Missouri. Right, we just talked about it. They beat them by 20 as a 5.5-point favorite. They also won and covered against NC State as a dog, and they routed Towson as a favorite. They did lose to Connecticut in a low-scoring game. They also beat Tennessee already this year as a dog. So Kansas, you know what? Not so bad here. 6-1 ATS as a favorite right now, but still, Davidson does represent a good program. 2-0 against the spread on the road so far, with some covers. They've been playing all home games, though, here of late. They lost to Temple last time out by 5 as a 3.5 point favorite at home. Beat Mercyhurst in a cover. Lost to St. Mary's at home. Did win against Citadel. Didn't cover and covered against A&T. Still, it is Davidson. You're going to get a disciplined effort. Can KU rout these guys? I don't know. I'm going to take Davidson in this one. Plus the points. Give me Davidson here. Plus 17 right now. 16.5 here at some spots. I'm taking Davidson in this one. All right. Twisted might want Davidson as well. And oh, I like that, Twisted. Yeah, but we don't want to make Mike. He always gets upset when we make him do more graphics. But there are some different things that you could do with these things a little bit. I wish I was better at it, actually. I'd like to make, Mikey's got the fancy graphics with the games all over here. All I can do is my QR code. Click on the QR code. All right. Let's see here. Illinois for Greg. All right, I'm going to keep moving on. We got a few more college games here. I got this is the championship game of the Sun Bowl Invitational. Bet you didn't know I was going here down in El Paso. Man, this is an old college basketball tournament that was played ever since I think I was a kid, it feels like. This was a college basketball tournament before there were holiday college basketball tournaments. We got UCI and Norfolk here. Both teams won yesterday to play this game. UCI got their win over North Dakota State. It was two good games yesterday in El Paso. North Dakota State 74-73. They won and covered as a dog. Meanwhile, Norfolk beat UTEP in an upset, 72-71 as a 10-point dog. They also won and covered against Jackson State before that. They had played some tough teams. They covered against James Madison. Norfolk's okay, 5-2 ATS as an underdog. Meanwhile, UCI 3-6 against the spread as a favorite. They're not a great favorite. So look, Norfolk. I'm not saying that 6-8's a good record, but remember, Norfolk's gone on the tour already, collecting their paychecks here, and they're getting now 10.5 against Irvine here in this one. Irvine's 2-7 to the under as a favorite. Norfolk's been mostly an over so far, 7-4 to the over. I'm going to go with Norfolk in this one against Irvine tonight. Like I said, they're getting 10.5 now. All right. Hey, the West Up Parlay. Looks like for Abel here, he's got USD. Okay, that's USD. Yeah, Abel, USD there against Washington tonight, getting 19.5. He's got the Warriors. Robert likes the under in this one with UCI and Norfolk. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, but UCI is a favorite. I think you've got to consider the under here in this one. Mark Roberts play down since probably got to roll with Robert in one of these. Okay. One more here tonight in college basketball, then we'll get 4 college hockey games, and that'll be the show. Northern Iowa and St. Mary's here in Moraga. With St. Mary's going to come in a big favorite here at -12. In fact, I'm showing 13.5 here now at some books. This one's gone up. Really? Okay. I mean, hey, Northern Iowa's got a pretty good little team here right now. Total in this one at 130, maybe 131. It's been going up here a little bit. Total's been rising a little bit with the Northern Iowa and St. Mary's here. And see what you got in this one. 2 teams with pretty good records so far. Northern Iowa's won 2 straight. They're 9-2. St. Mary's is 10-2 coming in. Northern Iowa just picked up wins over Oakland and Illinois Chicago. They did fail against some pretty okay competition, Tulsa and Wichita, but they still come in 6-4 ATS overall. St. Mary's is 6-4 ATS as a favorite. Northern Iowa can definitely hang, it feels like, in this game. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here. This one was sent out at 126.5, and we're all the way up to 131.5 here right now. Maybe it will, but Northern Iowa's 2-8 to the under so far this season. I'm going under 132 in this one. Give me the under with Northern Iowa and St. Mary's here. Robert likes Northern Iowa there. Hey, hello to Nanya in the chat. I think he likes Northern Iowa as well, and I'm giving him more points. Up to 13.5 at Bet Online right now. That's it for the college basketball. Big card, though. So you can get into some fun today with some early games in time for tonight. Monday Night Football will join us here on the network. All right, 4 games on the ice tonight. Gotta take a look at these matchups. Let's go first to Blues and the Lightning in this one. You got the Blues, a pretty big underdog here. Big underdog against the Lightning. Now, look, maybe the Lightning, I know the Sharps are going to be laying this, taking a little bit of that plus money, of course, but I don't know. St. Louis here, they're definitely a decent puck line dog. For sure here right now. And look at these teams here. Tampa Bay's lost 3 of 4. They are just 8-20 as a puck line favorite. St. Louis 17-4 as a puck line underdog. Tampa Bay is probably in a pretty good spot against these guys. This is a home dominated series. I know that over their meetings here of late. But Tampa Bay kind of just poor form here recently with a few losses. Like I said, dropping games here to the Islanders, to Florida and LA. They did beat Carolina last time out, 6-4 at home. St. Louis, meanwhile, comes in here off of a win at Florida. We had St. Louis in that game. They played pretty well here of late as well. They beat Winnipeg 1-0. They did lose to the Rangers at home 2-1, but who doesn't? St. Louis is 7-14 to the under as an underdog. Now the Rangers here, the Lightning here, kind of going over here of late, and this series has kind of been an over. Although the last 2 meetings did go under, they have not met yet this season. So I think these Blues games, though, when they're an underdog, they usually have trouble scoring. I'm going to go with the under in this one with St. Louis and Tampa Bay. I kind of like that one, actually, pretty strong here. I'm going to take the under at 5.5. Hasn't gone up to 6. Yeah, you can get some 6 unders out there if you'd like. It's 620 at the sharp books, and I'll go under in this one with St. Louis and Tampa Bay. All right, here we go. Oh, Nanya, I think you took Norfolk back there. Here's Blues on the puck line. Blues on the puck line for Twisted. I think it's $1.40, $1.45. Stop Geo. Hello, nice to see you. Twisted here, maybe with me. Robert, though, on the Lightning is going to lay it. Maybe Twisted might even take the Blues on the money line here. Abel likes the over. Canucks are on the road taking on the Flyers here. Canucks, hot Canucks, 4 straight wins. Break them up. Canucks with wins over New Jersey, the Rangers, the Islanders, and Boston. I think the Canucks are leading the Metro Division here right now with the way they're playing. They're playing great. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, they've been playing well. They just don't have much to show for it. They've been in these games, but they've been losing. Lost to Buffalo 5-3, lost to the Rangers 5-4. They did beat Montreal a few games back, and they lost a pair of 1-goal games a week ago or so to Carolina. Philly's a strong favorite, man. 7-2 as a favorite, but Vancouver's form is really nice right now. Phillies 3-6 to the under as a favorite, but Vancouver is 15-12 to the over as a dog here. The two teams have not met yet here this season, but total here at 5.5. Let's see what you guys have in the chat in this one, and I'll make my call with. I'm showing Demko. Oh, who are the Fluyers? Who are the Fluyers? Urson in there. Fluyers. The Fluyers. Mike's going to fire me if he saw that. Okay, there we go. Fluyers. I'm going under in this game. I'm going under. It's mostly Philadelphia here that's kind of been trending under for me right now. Yes, the last two games did go over in those losses to the Rangers and to Buffalo, but I think here as a favorite in this one, I want the under for sure. I really like this one, actually. Give me the under tonight with the Canucks and the Flyers. These two teams have played unders in the 4 straight meetings. Last 2 years, all 4 games have gone under. R. Tom's on the under. I think Bobby Mack's on the under. Abel's going over, though. Kraken. Let's get Kraken. Kraken and the Ducks. Kraken come in 13-14-6. The Ducks are 21-13-2. Kraken snapped their losing streak last time out with a win at San Jose. They were not playing well. Anaheim here in a win over Columbus last time out. Close game. Got the win. Anaheim pretty strong here as a home favorite. They're 12-5 at home this season, 7-4 as a favorite overall. Meanwhile, Seattle has had some woes here of late. Right now, Seattle coming into this one, a slump for sure, but they have kind of dominated this matchup. Yeah, the Ducks did win 2 of the last 3, but really before that, it was all Seattle. Seattle did win the first meeting here at home 3-1 back in early October for the first meeting between these two teams. Let's see here. I want to get the current line. I think it's 175 now, 6.5 over at -120. So I think you're probably going to see some goals here in this one. At 6.5. Tough maybe to lay the Ducks here. The Ducks are just 2-9 as a puck line favorite. Seattle 18-10 as a puck line dog. That's bad for Anaheim. Basically you're talking right. Basically here, not, I could figure that out. 9% or whatever as a puck line favorite, and you're asking them here. The price. Let me see. It's not awful. On Seattle necessarily. You want to take this puck line dog going up against a team that is 2-9 on the puck line. Anaheim is 10-1 to the over as a favorite this year. So that has to be considered because, like I said, $1.85. Maybe it's down to $1.75 here right now, but interesting to note. They usually don't cover the puck line and it goes over. So this one's probably, I would imagine this one's going to be 4-3. I think you got to take an exact score line on this one, don't you? All right. That's going to do it for me on that one. I'm good to go. I'm going to take Kraken here on the puck line plus 1.5 at it is minus $1.50, but it's going to be 4-3. I'm probably just going to play an exact score line with a 4-3 game, maybe for Anaheim winning it. I think that sounds like a fun play. All right, here we go. 9 Legacy said Vancouver Canucks on the puck line. And Twisted said that game is just about ready to go. I think I'm getting it on ESPN Plus, Twisted. Although I've got right now, here at this time, without any tennis, I've been having to watch cricket all all month. But hey, we got, I'm watching the T20 league here with Abu Dhabi and Sharjah. This one's going to go for 6. Anybody? All right. Let's see here. Ducks money line for Abel with the Kings money line. Twisted's ready to go with that game. Robert liking the over, and Nine Legacy says Ducks puck. I think he's taking the Ducks on the puck line. Yeah, you know what? The Sharps are going to be on the Ducks on the puck line. So call me square here. I'm going to take Seattle, but I'm going to do it. Okay, one more here on the ice. Columbus taking on the Kings tonight. Got looks like Jet Greaves in there, and maybe Anton Forsberg here for the Kings tonight. And you got the Kings $1.85 here as well. Total 5.5 under at -120. For the Kings, they come in here with off of a win. They were on a bit of a slump, but they are 15-10-5 now. Kings coming in with that win over Tampa Bay, 2-1. That snapped a losing streak. They're back home here after a road trip. Columbus, meanwhile, comes in here with back-to-back losses to Minnesota and Anaheim. They did beat Anaheim 4-3, and then went on and lost to Minnesota. Then played Anaheim on the road and lost 4-3 in that one. Columbus just 6-19 as an underdog this year. They're a pretty big underdog here, obviously. Kings are 4-10 to the under at home this season. We are on the backup goaltenders here, it looks like, tonight, with Greaves and Forsberg here, but that might not stop me from going under here with these two. Greaves, 2.77 goals against, 9.5% save percentage. Forsberg, 5-4-3, 2.69 goals against here. So this is it, the last game of the night. And I'm going to go here with I'm going with the under in this one with the Blue Jackets and the Kings here tonight. I think the Blue Jackets might get an upset, actually. I think that's it for the Morning Steam Show. I want to thank everybody for joining me here. Let's get ready and we'll run the contest, see if someone wins those betting picks here. Make sure you go over to winnable.com/Ramon. I've got a 7-pack of college basketball games up, ready and available here right now. And hey, hopefully I'm on New Haven and under. I know we're just talking about that game, but I'm going to take New Haven and under in that game starting here in just a couple of minutes. Use the promo code STEAM. It's 41 cents a day. You're going to get a couple packages from me today in multiple sports. Just whatever I feel like is the best value. Sometimes even me, don't send any premiums out there, and maybe the NHL one night. Just depends on the card and all that. So thank you, everybody. Let me run the commercial from Mikey, then we'll get on out of here, do the drawing. Thanks, everybody. We're going to have a great day and a great time tonight. I want you guys to join us here tonight with our live companion stream coverage, along with razor sharp picks for the game tonight with San Francisco and Indianapolis. All right, here we go. Let's do the
final.
Whoops. Well, there's the drawing. Let's run the commercial, though.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, who's going to win the drawing? It's just about winning. It's not about the... Here we go. Nuke, Robert, BJ, Nunya, Greg, Stop Geo, Steve. The winner is Abel. Yes, there he is. Abel, author of the West Up Parlay. Abel, I'll extend your subscription by another month. I think Abel's probably up to 6 months now. He's won this thing so many times. I think he's in there. If not, use the promo code WINNER and get signed up. Make sure you check me out here over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is how you support me on the channel here, everybody. Keep me coming back here to the show every day. Don't forget, Mikey Money joins us tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action here tonight. And then we'll have the show with Razor and the guys here for Monday Night Football. So make sure you join me here tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off. Mike said I can't take the day off, but we're going to on Wednesday with just that one bowl game. We're going to have a great holiday. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And let's get these winners. Right. Thanks, everybody. That's going to do it. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.